Hey guys, I'm Amanda Day, and we are here at the 2019 Twin Cities Film Fest here on the Ballard Spahr red carpet, and I'm really excited. Well, today is our last day, and I am very, very happy that I get to interview Molly May. First of all, thank you so much for being here. So the film we're about to see is called Netizens, which is a documentary that follows the lives of these three women as they encounter all sorts of bullying and the misogyny that's online. People are willing to say the most horrific things when they're not looking in someone's eyes. So first of all, tell us a little bit about your business and how you're connected to the film.
Yeah. First of all, thank you for having me. I'm super psyched to be here. I have a body positivity podcast through Matriarch Digital Media. It's called Molly May, and it's body positivity and centered around just like living your life with joy, and not being afraid to live the life that you want to live, no matter what body you're in. And I'm super honored to be here today and kind of talk about, since, the podcast came out, my life has been opened up a little bit in terms of being opened up on social media for the grander public to not so joyfully comment on my appearance. And it has been a journey of kind of just like digging back into my tool belt that I have. I'm so grateful that I have this tool belt of gratitude and a strong support system, because there are times where you're just sitting in your bathtub and you're like, oh my God.
I work with a lot of models, and it's always surprising to me that from the outside, here are people that our world tells us that's what we want. That's what we want to be. And so often they're so racked with insecurity, and oftentimes that becomes their identity. Especially growing up pretty, it becomes their identity. And you know what? You did nothing to earn that. And so when our identity is tied to something we didn't earn, like character and doing something we're proud of, it's so fragile. It's so fragile. But I want to talk a little bit about why people, mostly men, a lot of times women too, feel that it is their right to comment on the skin suit we're wearing.
It's wild to me that someone that I don't know, and here we go. That someone that I don't know, who I have never met, can look at one photo of me and say, I am lazy, and I am unhealthy, and I am dying a slow death, and I am the reason why his insurance premiums are high. It's wild. And that knowledge that he thinks that he gleaned of me is from a photo. And it's like, God, I'm so much more than that. And also, this photo of me was in a swimsuit. I was excited. I was happy. I was 100% joyful in this photo. And I was surrounded by other women in this article, this particular article that was published, who were doing the same. It was joy. It was a celebration of our bodies. And it was so easy. It was a myriad of humans. Like, the comments just kept coming and coming and coming. And it was kind of wild to witness, because I had never witnessed hate like that before. And hate like that in our state was kind of wild, and it was easy for them.
Easy. I think that is a really important word, because your words, I'm talking to you people who are commenting, because your words do not go out in a vacuum. They go out there and they have power. And to first of all think that you have a right to talk about someone's body is ludicrous. And I think the rule should always be, Well, you're a crap human if you would say that to someone in real life. But if you wouldn't say it to someone in real life, don't type it, because your words have power. And it's amazing to me, this disconnect from, I would never say this to my sister or my mother
Right.
or my daughter.
Right.
And yet I would say hateful things to a stranger because I can type them anonymously. And so from here, from a more empowered point of view, I have a 15-year-old daughter. She's dealing with body image issues. I think most of us all do. What is your advice? What can we do to take back the conversation?
Speak open and honest, and always build her up. Always. I love what you said about I would never speak to my daughter that way. I would never speak to my mother that way. And I've alluded to this too in my podcast of talk to everyone like they are your best friend. And you never know what the person sitting right next to you is going through. We are all running through this life with a myriad of experiences and mental toughness. Yeah. And it's operate with kindness always, and don't assume shit of people, because
we do that way too much. I think we say, I know who that person is, and I see myself doing that too. There was a political rally in Minnesota, and I was like judging all these people. Some of it's like human rights issues, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna hold my ground on the human rights issue and be judgy, but I don't know these people's backstories, and I can't pretend. It's a presumptuous point of view to say, I know who that person is, and I'm therefore going to judge them. And I think that's why we've come to this place politically in our country, but also socially, that number one, we're willing to say these absolutely horrific things rather than saying, tell me more about you. Why do you think that way? And if we can start with questions rather than judging, I think it's so much more powerful. So what do you say to young girls especially, but I mean, if we think about the queer population, if we think about our youth that are disconnected from that like mainstream, what do you say to them to give them courage to be online or even just be in this world right now?
Yeah. I will start with it gets better. It always does. Yeah. Growing up has been an amazing evolution. Yeah. But I would also say you have to be true to yourself or you will not be living. And use your voice. And the internet is an amazing tool for good as well. So like the example of Instagram, I have been able to curate my experience to the like-minded plus-size community, and it has become like my cheerleaders. And the internet is a tool for good in that way. And you can find your people, but you have to use your voice, and choose how you want to show up in the world, and interact with other humans. And I would say be who you are on the internet as you are off the internet. Yeah.
Don't have this curated image that's like, oh my God, their life is perfect. No one's life is perfect. Right. Nobody. Right. I don't care how good their lighting is. And I mean, we're talking about really, really tough subjects, but something that's so pervasive. And I think this documentary does a very, very good job of bringing it to a much more emotional level. What do your words do to someone? Because it's very easy. We have this disconnect. We don't see that real person. We become like an alter ego. It's this strange, like I said, disconnect. And so I think one of the most important things that this documentary highlights and that you do in your podcast is that your words have power. And if you are coming from an insecure and powerless position, you don't understand the power of your words, and you like to lash out at people even more. So tell us how we can listen to your podcast, how we can follow you, and get get on the internet, but in a very positive, empowering way.
Yeah. My Instagram is Schmolly Mac. That's SCH, Molly Mac. And the podcast is Molly May with a plus. We don't say the plus, it's French. Yeah. And you can find that wherever you like to listen to your podcasts. And it's hosted by Matriarch Digital Media.
Love that name.
Yes, Twyla Dang. She's the queen.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
I feel like you and I are going to be friends.
Yay!
I'm excited. You guys, please come to the Twin Cities Film Fest. It is our last day. We're super excited. We've got some incredible films coming up. We've got parties. We've got amazing actors and writers and directors that are here. And I think the Film Fest tackles some subjects that maybe you don't normally get to experience in a film setting. So that's what makes film festivals so special, is we curate, we get thousands and thousands of films, and we get to curate them and bring the best and most interesting and hopefully most challenging to you. So thank you. We'll see you later.